Okay, I'll call the meeting of the Design Review Board to order today, October 13th.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to ask Margie to confirm that our Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been properly provided for today's meeting.
I can confirm that the packet was posted and the required notice was provided.
Okay, so we have posted and provided notice of today's meeting to interested parties, and I'm going to call roll to ensure that we have a quorum. So, Board Member Manley.
Present.
Board Member Romy. Here. Board Member Noonan.
Here.
Chair Kitchen.
Here.
So we have a 5-member board currently, and we have 4 members present. So that is a quorum. We can move on to today's business, item 2.1. So I'll turn it back over to the chair for item 2.1.
Okay, so I would consider a motion to approve the minutes from the September 15th meeting, or if there are any comments or changes.
I will approve.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second to approve September 15th minutes.
If there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Okay, that's approved. And then we'll move on to new business. 3.1.
Item 3.1 has been brought to you to review changes to Application CC21-24 that was filed by Ashley Howard on behalf of United Capital Management. And that application involved enclosure of a street-level covered parking garage in a building located on the west side of North Santa Fe, north of North Street, which is addressed as 227 North Santa Fe Avenue. And so the front exterior of that building has been modified to add a riser room for a sprinkler system. And so by way of background, we received 2 building permit applications. One building permit application was for interior renovations only to the existing building. As part of those interior renovations, the second floor was turned into an event space or an assembly occupancy, and because it was an assembly occupancy, there was a requirement to install a sprinkler system, and that was not anticipated at the very outset of the project, but because the use of the second floor changed, there was the installation of a fire department riser room to house access to maintain the sprinkler system. So that involved the interior renovations. There was also a building permit application filed to modify the exterior of the building facing Santa Fe Avenue. And some of you may recall some of those discussions that there was a plan for enclosure of that garage, and also we had discussion about the door that would be installed, and we discussed the possible need for mirrors or things that would help with viewing traffic or pedestrian traffic on the sidewalk. But this board approved a certificate of compatibility for those modifications with the condition that if any significant changes are made to the storefront design and materials approved by the Design Review Board, that these would be presented to the board's administrative staff to determine whether any additional review by the board is required. And so as we looked at this, there were 2 factors that came into play. One was that the permit application for making the exterior modifications expired without any work being done, so we were not certain whether that exterior modifications were still planned to be carried out. The other thing is that from a staff standpoint, we determined that the newly added brick riser room was a significant change from what the board reviewed and approved. And so this has just been brought back to you for additional review and comment. And since the permit has expired, a new permit has to be applied for, and we didn't feel comfortable issuing a new permit without the board having an opportunity to review the changes. So this is a new addition that was not contemplated when you reviewed this in December of 2021, and so we have brought it back to you. This, I don't know, the easiest thing, Dustin, I guess, might be to just show the what it looked like before the riser room and what it looks like after
Yeah.
the riser room is present.
So this is the original plan that was approved by the DRB, in which the front facade would feature brick wainscoting with aluminum framed windows above that. And so this is what was approved. Since that time, we have the riser room that's been introduced, as Mr. Andrew mentioned, which leads us to a new design that includes the riser room. So basically, before the plan that was approved, you had wainscoting, brick wainscoting that went all the way to the south column with aluminum frame windows that went all the way to the south column. And now, because of the riser room, you're going to have windows that go to the riser room instead of to the column. So this here is the difference. So this is what's being proposed, and I'll zoom in on what was approved. So that's the difference. Here's what was approved, and this is what we're looking at today.
And so the function of that space, Dustin, is going to be the same as it was originally, just the footprint's going to be smaller?
Correct. So inside, they had planned for a client/employee lounge area, and the difference there in terms of the footprint is we have a riser room that is now in that corner, and that's represented by this box area with this door that you see. So the riser room will effectively be inside the proposed client-employee lounge area on the first floor of the building.
So we have brought this to you because we know that we'll be getting a new building permit submittal, and so we took this opportunity just to make you aware of it, ask you to review and comment on it if you have any. And your options this afternoon would be to approve the changes to the December 2021 certificate of compatibility that was approved, finding that even with the riser room, the facade modifications will conform with the design guidelines for downtown Salina. You could approve the amended application subject to any conditions that you wish to impose. You could postpone consideration of the amended application to obtain additional information, or you could deny the changes as presented upon making findings for the reason of your denial. Our recommendation is just following review of the application and the material that's been presented and any additional information you receive at this hearing, that you take whatever action you think to be in the best interest of preserving the character of downtown Salina. So it often falls on staff. We have that kind of the standard language, and this may be on the border of a significant or non-significant change, but since we knew we were going to get a new permit application post riser room, we thought it prudent to bring this to you to see if you had any comments or concerns or questions about that change.
Well, does anyone have questions or would like to hear from the applicant? Yeah, you'd like to get up and speak?
My name is Ken Bieberly. I'm the architect. The owners cannot be here today, but I'm here to answer any questions. I know the city was concerned that the owner was going to go through with the inclusion or the enclosure of the first floor parking. They still are. They just had some different things to do, I suppose. I wasn't involved in that decision, but I assure you they're going to continue with the improvements to this building. And if there are any questions you have, I'd be glad to answer them if I can.
That was really my only question, is whether or not they still planned on moving forward, so,
Yeah, they are planning on moving forward.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So they have had all their final inspections for the interior work, and they have a certificate of occupancy for the second floor, and they have hosted some events there. And so we have coordinated that with the contractor that was doing the work, and we did ask at the time we issued the certificate of occupancy. They didn't have a timeline, but they said that that we shouldn't interpret it letting the permit expire, as they're not intending to do it. It's just their timeline and time frame has changed. So I do believe that the action you take today, that the plan that you see before you will get executed at some time.
Okay, well, if there's not any discussion, I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion that we approve the amended application, subject to any conditions approved by the majority of the Design Review Board.
Okay. Is there any further discussion?
Would you, as part of those conditions approved by a majority, you would want to carry over the condition that if there were any further significant changes, that we would bring this back?
Correct.
So it would include that as a condition.
Okay. Does Mr.
I will second that motion.
Okay. No further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
So, is there anyone from the public or any things that,
Do we have anybody on via Zoom?
We have, Ms. Bishop is online with us on Zoom if she has anything to add. And then we also have Mr. Manley, who is on the board. He's also with us on Zoom today.
I'm good, thank you.
So, item 5 on the agenda of the public forum is just an opportunity for any member of the public, either present physically or online, to see if they had any issue or comment they wanted to address to the board. So it appears that Ms. Bishop doesn't have anything she wants to add under public forum, and I'm not seeing anybody else in the room unless I'm missing something.
Correct.
So it appears that there are no persons online or present to speak under public forum, and so that could bring us to item 6, adjournment. And so you could entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting unless you have any further questions of staff.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second it to make it a clean sweep.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.